needed. But there's only so much of you to go around.
Later? Right.
That's why we created Alex Cellular Car Phone Service.
You get back. I want those.
Alex Service lets you stay in touch with everyone who needs you.
3 o'clock.
Anytime, anywhere. Someday,
Call him, please.
maybe you will figure out how to be in 2 places at once. But in the meantime, isn't it nice to have a little help?
Hi, you need me?
Alex, for the people people need.
I'm about to show you how you can fight drafts and frosty windows with this window insulator kit from 3M. You just stick it in place from the inside, heat it with a hairdryer, and the wrinkles disappear. Airtight and clear as glass. Now you can see how cold it is out there without feeling it in here. Look for the 3M window insulator kit in the tartan plaid package. There's just one rule for doing it yourself. Don't do it yourself without 3M.
Some Air Express companies must have special training classes. Otherwise, where would they come up with their excuses?
I know the package is late, but there's a lot of traffic between here and the airport.
Excellent. Delivery by 10:30 a.m. We'll make every conceivable effort. Very good.
Got a man out sick and another just quit on me.
Wonderful.
There's only one reason to choose an Air Express company: reliability. And that means Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else?
WPVI-TV, Philadelphia, serving New Jersey and the Delaware Valley.
I have been fighting my whole life against all isms.
He's the head of an Indian love cult that touched off a storm of controversy when his followers took over an Oregon town. Now the guru says he doesn't want to be a guru anymore. Good evening, I'm Charles Gibson, and this is Nightline. Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh says he's burning his teachings, ending Rajneeshism, and wants his disciples to think of him not as their guru, but as their friend. We'll talk with him and with Oregon's Attorney General tonight.
This is ABC News Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Charles Gibson.
The story of the Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh is well known in this country. So are his troubles of recent days. His classless society, based on love, sexual freedom, and enjoyment of riches, has been rocked by scandal. Many of his closest followers, more than a dozen of his most powerful disciples, have fled. He claims they were guilty of attempted murder, arson, and embezzlement. They took millions, he claims. They deny it. Now, today, he says he's changing the entire basis of his Oregon society. It will no longer be a religion, he says. What are the changes? Why is he making them? And what does this mean for his society? Judd Rose is in Oregon.
They've always worn red, they say, because that's the color of the sunrise, and that's what Bhagwan wanted. But not anymore. The guru is changing some things here, and the color of sunrise is fading into the sunset.
He's always like this, you know? So it's just another beautiful joke.
It may be a joke, but to outsiders, it's more confusing than amusing. Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh has announced the end of many of his commune symbols. Gone are the red clothes, the wearing of lockets with his picture. Gone is the term sannyasin, what his followers have called themselves. In fact, says the guru, from now on, there is no Rajneeshism. After all, Bhagwan says, he opposes all organized religion. Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Rajneeshism.
I have been fighting my whole life against all isms. And these people made an ism out of me. They created the word Rajneeshi. You have to drop that word.
The people Rajneesh claims turned him into an ism are a group of former leaders of his commune, among them Ma Anand Sheela, his one-time top lieutenant. 2 weeks ago, she and the others left Rajneeshpuram amid a barrage of accusations by the guru.
And it is ugly, inhuman, undemocratic. It is a crime.
Among the crimes Bhagwan accuses his former friends of committing, attempted murder, trying to kill friends and enemies of the commune by poisoning, bombing, and developing a so-called death ray. Arson, the burning of a county building containing extensive records on the sect, illegal spying, bugging phones and homes throughout the commune, including the gurus, financial mismanagement. Bhagwan says Sheila and the others diverted millions to Swiss bank accounts and left the commune $55 million in debt, and a variety of other suspicious doings. The highly publicized importing last year of thousands of street people to the commune. Rajneesh says Sheila did it to pack voter rolls and influence a key election. He also claims drugs were bought to sedate the transients, drugs which led in part to the death of one of the street people. And even the discovery of a mysterious escape tunnel under Sheila's home leading out of Rajneeshpuram.
Events here in our community over the last several weeks have really disrupted the life here in the most profound way possible. People's confidence in people they trusted has been shattered.
The former members of Rajneesh's inner circle have gone to Europe. Last week in West Germany, Sheila denied all the charges.
I'm not a bitter woman. I never was. And I never will be. But I will reveal the experience, very valuable experience I have had for last 14 years.
Sheila claims Rajneesh is desperate because all of the commune's money is gone, squandered, she says, on the guru's personal luxuries, like his fleet of more than 90 Rolls-Royces. And indeed, while the Rajneesh wardrobe may be changing its hue, the Rajneesh finances appear deeply in the red. The First Interstate Bank has closed all commune accounts and credit cards.
Well, this is now public. These are allegations. They are serious, and we will get to the bottom of it.
To get to the bottom of it, 6 law enforcement agencies, federal, state, and local, have begun a joint investigation of all the accusations. An investigation the sect's new leaders have already criticized.
Bhagwan is going to make all these allegations about some of the most serious crimes and conspiracies in Oregon history, ask for law enforcement to investigate them, and then be concerned because they're doing a good job. Then you have to wonder about the sincerity of the allegations or the motivation in the first place.
And truly, many are wondering. Despite all the charges, the Rajneeshis have offered very little in the way of proof. Tonight, 6,000 copies of the Book of Rajneeshi were burned on orders of the guru. Bhagwan said this collection of his thoughts was really from the mind of Ma Anand Sheila, and so must be burned.
Books don't really mean very much, and it's just as well to get rid of them. And fires are beautiful.
It's far out. It's just, it fits with everything I've ever learned from Bhagwan.
But if there's anything Bhagwan watchers have learned, it's don't take anything here at face value. Given the guru's legal troubles, his immigration problems, the lawsuits against him, and an ongoing grand jury investigation, given his sect's declining membership and deepening financial woes, given all that, speculation is growing that all this drama is a smokescreen, and along with Rajneeshism, there's another ism that's been banished from the commune, realism. Judd Rose for Nightline in Portland, Oregon.
And when we come back, we'll talk with Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh at his spiritual headquarters in Oregon.
The Rajneesh are worth an estimated $200 million. They have spent an estimated $100 million building their commune, called Rajneeshpuram, complete with an airport, restaurants, and a shopping center. Between 1,000 and 2,000 people currently live in Rajneeshpuram. This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Pepperidge Farm Layer Cake.
Takes practice to frost a Pepperidge Farm layer cake. They're swirled with a spoon, then smoothed by hand. Of course, first, they're baked with rich things like genuine cocoa or luscious coconut, then frozen to stay extra fresh. You see, Pepperidge Farm still remembers simple things make better cakes.
Come on in.
Race ya!
At 3M, one idea leads to another. This spill, this oil spill, is a problem these absorbent 3M fibers solve. Then, 3M scientists turned the fibers' insulating properties into a different idea. Thinsulate thermal insulation. And winter wear got slimmer and warmer. Sharing technologies helps one idea lead to another. At 3M.
I'm just wild about Harris, and Harris wild about you. Our main attraction is friendly action to put a winning smile on you.
They'll make you feel like $1 million.
Plus we throw in free parking too. Oh, I'm just wild about Harrah's, and Harrah's wild about you.
Harrah's Marina Hotel Casino.
In 1914, Isuzu paved the way for the automotive industry of Japan. Unfortunately, Japan hadn't paved its roads. Today, the Isuzu Aimar combines the superior road handling of front-wheel drive with the dependability car experts expect from a car built in Japan. And these Japanese car experts ought to know. They've been driving their Isuzus for over 60 years.
Neo-Nazis said to have a hit list including Henry Kissinger, on trial for racketeering. Dramatic testimony from a former member tomorrow on World News Tonight.
Joining us now from the Rajneeshpuram headquarters in Oregon, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, who until his announcement today was the leader of the Rajneeshi religious sect. Bhagwan, as I understand it at your news conference, you are going to tell your followers that you are no longer their guru, but just their friend. Why are you doing this?
I have never been their guru.
Well, as I understand it, they have carried books of your teachings. They have carried your picture on a necklace on their necks. They all wear what you tell them to wear. Why are you not their guru, then?
I was silent for 3.5 years, and in that silent period, the group of Ma Anand Sila exploited the innocent sannyasis and tried to create a religion, and she became the high priestess of the religion.
Well, I understand your problems with her, but didn't you realize during that period of time that they were following you in a religious sense?
They were told so, but I was not informed, and I was in isolation and in silence, so I was not aware of what is happening.
What kind of a relationship did you have with her, Sheila, who was, as you say, the high priestess? What kind of a relationship did you have with her for those 3.5 years?
She was just my secretary.
Just your secretary?
Yes.
And she didn't tell you what was going on?
She did not, and she exploited the situation because she was the only source of communication between me and the sannyasis.
But there was for instance, I know there was a case in court brought against you and your followers for conducting religious activities, for, the state says, improperly mixing church and state. So you must have known that your group was claiming church status.
I had no idea of anything because I was in isolation. So you have to understand it clearly that when I came out of silence, then only I became aware of what has been happening in these 3.5 years.
All right, what does this announcement today do to your group for the future? What difference will it make?
It makes tremendous difference. First, there is no religion, and there is no master, no disciples. I am only a friend. And those who love me are living with me.
Will this take away the tax-exempt status of your organization?
I don't care.
Well, whether you care or not, will it take it away?
I don't care.
But wouldn't that not cost, as I understand it, it will cost you your tax-exempt status, and won't that cost you a lot of money?
It will not.
It will not what? Cost you a lot of money or take...
Because our activity is still religious. we are not religion, but our activity is religious. And there is no need for one being a part of an organized religion. One can be simply religious. The quality of being religious is totally free from any organizational structures.
Let me ask you about Sheila for a moment. You claim she left with a lot of money. How much money did she take from you?
I don't know.
Well, the figure $35 to $40 million has been thrown around. Some have talked about 50.
Not taken from here, but the money that was coming from Europe to this commune as a donation, she stopped it somewhere in Switzerland and opened a bank account there. Her secretary has informed that it is $43 million.
There are some people who are saying that she now has a lot of money and that you are still cooperating with her. She said, I understand, that she still loves you, for instance. There are some people who think you are still cooperating with her and may go to Europe with her. Is that true?
No.
You're going to stay in Oregon come whatever?
I'm going to stay here come what?
All right, Bhagwan, let me ask you just to stand by for a moment. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to an Oregon official with a different perspective on the Bhagwan and his followers, David Frohnmeyer, Attorney General for the state of Oregon.
They're coming, and they're tough to beat. The 86 Ford Rangers, even tougher to beat this year. Its V6 engine is the most powerful of any small pickup. And there's Ranger's new Super Cab that carries up to 5 people or extra cargo. Also new this year is Ranger's new electric touch drive that lets you shift from 2-wheel to 4-wheel drive on the fly. See the tough to beat 86 Ford Rangers now. The best built American trucks are built Ford tough.
For over 50 years, there's been a unique insurance corporation. A corporation that insures only one thing, your money. But what makes it even more special is that it has the full faith and credit of the United States government behind it. The Federal Savings and Loan Insurance Corporation. Your money is safe, not just because it's insured, but because of who insures it.
I'm not a mechanic, but I do some work on my car. Well, me and the boys. The Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack. Their salespeople really know cars. They've got all the right parts. They make sure you know how to do the job before you start. Pep Boys makes doing it yourself worth doing.
Save on Shell Fire and Ice motor oil. Buy 5 quarts at 77 cents each. Get $1.50 back from Shell. Your cost after rebate, 47 cents a quart.
The Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack.
The 3 best friends my car ever had.
Before you choose a TV, major appliance, or audio equipment, make sure you choose the right store, Silo. We carry more name brands than anyone else. And right now, you'll find every price on every item in every department dramatically reduced, from 5 to 50%. So if you're looking for the highest quality merchandise for the lowest possible price, now's the time to look to Silo, the name that means name brands for less.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Starr.
And I'm Wally Kennedy. As the strike continues, we continue being your feature page on AM Philadelphia.
For example, a feature on Mind Over Matter. Next time you'll see a live demonstration of a man walking on steaming hot coals.
Some people are walking on hot coals with their relationships, so to speak, because of jealousy. We'll take a look at jealousy with best-selling author Nancy Friday. If there's a jealous person in your life, don't miss it.
All that plus veteran actor Eli Wallach, star of Our Family Honor, talking about his Philadelphia connection.
It's all on the next day in Philadelphia. Join us at 10:15.
Joining us live now from our affiliate, KATU in Portland, Oregon, is Oregon Attorney General David Frohnmeyer, recently named by the governor of Oregon to head an investigation into the activities at Rajneeshpuram, headquarters of the Rajneesh cult. Mr. Frohnmeyer, given what the Bhagwan has decided today, does this change the nature of your investigation in any way?
Well, it doesn't change the nature of the investigation at all. The Bhagwan, of course, has made very serious charges against some of his former associates and sannyasins, and those are matters that are very serious and are taken very seriously by law enforcement in Oregon. The allegations range from eavesdropping or wiretapping to alleged attempted murder of several people, including apparently the person of the Bhagwan himself, as well as of a district attorney of a neighboring county.
All right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, these are matters that obviously no one can take lightly, and of course law enforcement will probe them to determine whether the allegations are accurate or whether they're unfounded or to what degree of any kind, and that's something that obviously has to be done in a professional, fair, and very thorough way.
And does the nature of those allegations, the seriousness of those allegations, give you increased authority to go in effect, to the area and find out what's been going on for the last 3.5 years?
Well, first of all, Charlie, I mentioned that this is a mutual law enforcement effort of the federal, state, and local governments. Secondly, the governor has exerted a rare but very important part of his executive authority to designate the Attorney General to be part of this investigation independently of the request that we'd already received from the district attorney who was allegedly the victim. So it's important coordinating authority, and we are working closely with a number of other law enforcement agencies.
All right. You're working together, and I understand that, but does it give you the authority, all of the groups, to go into the Rajneeshpuram and find out what's been going on, as so many of us have wondered for 3.5 years?
Well, yes, it does. Obviously, we're obeying all appropriate restrictions, constitutional and otherwise, on law enforcement and its investigations generally, and certainly we're expecting and hoping for the kind of cooperation from members of the Rajneesh community that will allow law enforcement to do its job.
All right. Do you have reason to suspect that the charges of attempted murder and arson and embezzlement are true?
Well, they're serious charges. There is obviously some independent evidence of the wiretap and eavesdropping issues that has been made public. It is really not appropriate for me to talk about evidence that is or has been or may be gathered by law enforcement, because obviously, of course, that is something that would go before either a grand jury if it reached that stage or on down the line. So at this stage, all I can tell you is that we are asking for the cooperation of the residents of Rajneeshpuram, of the Bhagwan, and of all others who may have information to help us determine precisely how much of this is in fact true and therefore what to do with it.
The Bhagwan's assistant, Sheila, who fled to Europe, has now charged that there is widespread drug use in that commune. Do you think that is correct?
Well, again, that's one of those allegations that one obviously has to sort out. The law enforcement investigation is not at the stage where I would be prepared or anyone could be prepared to say that that is, other than speculation, or yet another allegation that because it's serious, because it's been made, and because it's part of this tremendous controversy, that ought to be nailed down and in the interests not only of the people at Rajneeshpuram, but also of the citizens of the state.
All right, let me ask the Bhagwan that question. Bhagwan, your assistant Sheila has charged that there is widespread drug use in your Rajneeshpuram, and that many of your followers are in effect drugged most of the time. Is that correct?
That is absolutely absurd.
There is no use of this drug ecstasy at your commune?
Not at all.
Is it used at all?
No.
How about weapons? She has charged also illegal use and procurement of weapons.
All the weapons are legal.
I'm sorry?
All the weapons are legal.
Are legal. All right. Let me ask you something on a broader scale. I think most people looking at your situation would think he is the leader of this group. Whether he is a religious leader or whether he is a friend or whatever, he is the leader. And isn't a leader, to a large degree, responsible for the actions of his followers?
I'm not the leader, and I'm not responsible for anybody else except myself.
Well, even if you've come out of a 3.5-year silence, don't you certainly get the impression we all do looking in from outside that those people are followers of yours? They are there because of you.
They are because of me. That is their responsibility and their choice.
Well, they have, as I understand it, contributed money that has wound up with you having 90 Rolls Royces. Isn't that something that would denote that you are their leader?
It's their responsibility, not mine. I have not asked them.
But it certainly would indicate to those looking from outside that you are considered by them to be their leader. And I'm really wondering, doesn't a leader at some point have to take responsibility for what his followers, his disciples, I think you've called them disciples, have you not?
I am not their leaders. The question does not arise. I am their friend, nothing more, nothing less.
All right, let me take a break for a moment, and I want to get back to that question. If you are just a friend, then maybe that changes the nature of the investigations into your activities, and we'll get back to that question when we continue our discussion in a moment.
At 3M, one idea leads to another. This spill, this oil spill, is a problem these absorbent 3M fibers solve. Then, 3M scientists turned the fibers' insulating properties into a different idea. Thinsulate thermal insulation. And winter wear got slimmer and warmer. Sharing technologies helps one idea lead to another at 3M.
Looking for a loan? Tried talking to a financial institution? Big, impersonal. Looks like you need a friend. At Beneficial, we're big.
Hi, I'm Fred.
But very personal. You'll talk to the boss when you talk to Beneficial. So there's no committee, no waiting. Everything could be wrapped up in 24 hours.
Congratulations.
Thanks, big guy.
Thank you.
Beneficial. Talk to the manager and you're talking to the boss.
That'll be young Jack up for the weekend.
Probably driving that new Pontiac he was talking about getting.
Prestige car.
Young Jack? Nah, performance car.
Baloney. Young hotshot like that want prestige.
Your hat. Guy's a car nuts. Performance.
Prestige.
Got me a new Pontiac Grand Am, boys.
See?
Told ya.
Get a complete transmission tune-up, including new pan gasket and fluid, only $6.95 at Atrix.
Put your transmission in condition at Atrix.
5 years ago, diabetes took Leo Riley's sight, but not his will to live or his appreciation for the help of a United Way agency. He still goes twice a week, not to get help, but to give it.
I'm giving myself. Please, give what you can.
The United Way.
There's a new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It's a tough job at a time of Pentagon cutbacks. Tomorrow, watch ABC's World News This Morning with Steve Bell and Kathleen Sullivan.
How would you like a free trip to Europe? Tomorrow we'll hear about a travel deal that can get you to Europe free. Mike Wallace joins us and Chuck Norris here on Good Morning America.
Continuing our discussion now, David Frohnmeyer, the Bhagwan continues to insist that he has never been a religious leader, that he has never been a leader at all, and that he is now just a friend to those people who are at the Rajneeshpuram. From a legal standpoint, does that change the nature in any way of what you are doing? Does that make him legally less culpable? Does it change his legal status in any way?
Well, let's distinguish two things, Charlie. The first is that this ongoing criminal investigation has not said that he's culpable at this point of anything, and obviously it was he who first raised the allegations. There's a separate issue that the Department of Justice of Oregon has filed. That's a lawsuit against various of the entities, the corporations and so forth, and the commune, because their legal documents, the recorded deeds, any number of matters that are of public record indicate
I understand that, but he now
has a religious organization.
He has now hired a lawyer who advises him. He is very, or at least people who are around, I guess, are very aware of what his legal situation is. And I'm wondering if this change in status, in effect, self-declared or whatever, may change any legal status that he has.
Well, with respect to the civil lawsuit that challenges the legality of Rajneeshpuram because of violating the Constitution on church-state grounds, we don't see anything yet that would do that. Time and events obviously will tell for themselves. Obviously, a year ago when the federal judge refused to dismiss our lawsuit and in fact said that if we prove the facts that we believe we can, that this is in fact a violation of the Constitution, we believe that that continues to be a problem for that organization right up to the present day.
No matter what he did today?
That's correct.
All right, Bhagwan, let me ask you that question. Does your announcement today change in any way what relationship you had with your group a year ago or a year and a half ago?
First, let me say to Mr. Frohnmeyer that the whole situation changes completely. His case becomes bogus against the city. His case was that city is being mixed with religion, and there is no religion at all here.
So Bhagwan, your actions today did have something to do with that church-state case that was brought by the state of Oregon?
It has nothing to do with it. It is just a byproduct, by consequence of it.
Mr. Frohnmeyer, your response to that?
Well, the response is not to debate a lawsuit over national television, but simply to say that time and law will tell.
Bhagwan, he says he won't debate that.
No answer. That's why he's depending on time.
I'm sorry, again?
He has no answers. That's why he's depending on time and court and other things.
But did you have that case in mind when you decided to tell your followers?
I don't have that case in mind. You have raised the question. That's why I'm saying there is no religion here, and that makes it clear that Attorney General's case is simply finished.
Well, all right.
It has no grounds at all.
All right. Bhagwan and Attorney General Frohnmeyer, I appreciate both of you joining us tonight. It's been very interesting. Tomorrow on World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, dramatic testimony from a member of a neo-Nazi group now on trial in Seattle. That's our report for tonight. I'm Charles Gibson in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
Nightline is a presentation of ABC News.
Tuesday, where are these people going?
Great googly moogly, nobody told you about the big event?
And why are they dressed like this?
What is going on?
Find out on Moonlighting, the perfect romantic comedy.
No one under 17 admitted without parent or guardian.
You'll love it.
I gotta go get our plane. Mom said not to climb. I'm gonna get it anyway.
Philadelphia Electric knows that safety,
Bobby!
especially electrical safety, is something you can never
Bobby,
forget.
come down here now.
Because danger has a way of turning up when you're not expecting it, even in the most innocent places.
You didn't do it on purpose. I know, honey. I'm sorry, Mom.
For a free home safety hints booklet, call Philadelphia Electric, because we see how much there is to do.
WPVI TV, Channel 6, Philadelphia. Welcome to the $1 Million Movie. Tonight our feature film is The Yakuza, starring Robert Mitchum and Brian Keith.